Constitution was make impeachment very difficult to do. It's essentially a political control, not a legal one. And if you launch impeachment under circumstances where you don't have any real chance of getting the president removed from office, I think that's counterproductive. It promotes divisiveness in the society. It promotes dysfunction in the government. And it's just as much an abuse of power as anything they're accusing the president of.
I'm going to bring in the judge now, Andrew Napolitano. Sir, good morning to you and welcome to our coverage. Do I see Judge Naps? There you are.
Yes.
You believe the president has committed impeachable offenses.
Well, I believe that the Democrats have credibly argued that he committed impeachable offenses. The easiest one, because this existed in Andrew Johnson, Richard Nixon, and Bill Clinton, is obstruction of Congress. So by directing his subordinates to refuse to comply with lawfully issued subpoenas, whether it's for testimony or for documents, that's an impeachable offense. We know that from history. Every time the House of Representatives has looked at that with respect to a president, it has found it to be impeachable. On that, reasonable minds cannot disagree without rejecting history and without rejecting constitutional norms.
So if you were in the House, would you vote for impeachment, sir? Yes or no?
I certainly would on, well, I'm never going to be in the House, but I would on that count.
I'm just trying to frame the argument here because I want to get the rebuttal from Andy McCarthy.
Well, the other issues, Bill, reasonable minds can disagree. You know, what was the president's intent when he held up this aid? Was it truly to eradicate corruption in Ukraine? Was he truly concerned that American taxpayer dollars would go into the hands of crooks? Or was he looking to use the instruments of a foreign government to help his political campaign? Okay. Reasonable minds can differ on that.
Understood on that, Counselor. Thank you for that. Andy McCarthy, your rebuttal would be what then?
Well, you know, first of all, with respect even to the obstruction count, a lot of the evidence that is in the Schiff report deals with actions that the executive branch took before the House formally voted to have its impeachment inquiry. And I think they took a defensible position in the White House prior to that point, that unless the House voted formally to conduct an impeachment inquiry, that it was just a partisan stunt by the Democrats in the House, that it wasn't actually the House acting as the House. The other point I would make is, how serious are the Democrats actually about the evidence-gathering process? We have on January 3rd, the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals has scheduled two extraordinary hearings in which they're going to consider two of the impeachment-related cases that have been pushed by the Democrats' demands for information, whether it's the grand jury material from the Mueller investigation or having Don McGahn testify. The Democrats are now essentially saying, well, we don't need that. We're just going to proceed with impeachment. So I think it begs the question, how serious are they about the need to gather all this information so that they can give a serious, sober, impartial consideration of whether articles of impeachment ought to be filed?
Both of you gentlemen, stand by. Andy McCarthy, Judge Napolitano, throughout the day, we will check in back with you. Doug Collins now, the ranking member, is in the hearing room. Sandra.
The hearing room is filling up now, and Brett, certainly a question of what is at